Hello, my name is Chari Konomi.
My name is Jeff Stone. Welcome back to another episode of ChatGBC. Today we're here with Sebastien Lacroix. I got it right, though.
Yeah,
I wanted to butcher it, but I got
Lacroix.
it right.
Lacroix.
Yeah. Okay, that's too
The
French.
X is silent.
That's too French for me. But Sebastien is a filmmaker, photographer.
Indeed.
You're handling Lightning Studio social medias at the moment,
Of
and
course.
also you're record-setting shot putter.
Well, not really shot putter, but I do weight throw, I do shot put, I do discus, I do hammer. Just overall, I throw. So
Okay.
yeah.
Which one is the hammer one?
Hammer? It's like a ball on string.
Ball on string.
Yeah,
okay.
16-pound ball on a string where you just launch it, flies.
As opposed to the ball that you just
Yeah,
have
you
here
just
and
throw
you-
with your arm. So
Okay,
yeah.
That's crazy.
So recently, it's been the weight throw, which I set the record in.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get into more of that, like with your records and all the records that track and field has been breaking. But before, I wanted to announce something kind of special. We'll probably see it on social media before you see this, but we were able to get ChatGBC on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon.
Oh,
We are
Yeah.
legit.
that's
Officially
cool.
legit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So it's audio only on those platforms. So it's going to be video still on YouTube. That's where we hope people will watch it, and probably on the social medias, the clips and the reels and things. But yeah, you can count how many times, if you're listening to it on like Spotify or Apple, you can count how many times I say that's awesome or that's amazing.
Yep.
Xenia pointed out to me last episode that that's like half of what I say.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It was Zach's video for sure. for
Or
sure.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I got that's interesting from Joel. Whenever somebody would say something questionable in class, he'd be like, "That's interesting." But and then also really quick, I wanted to mention, I saw this morning. Today's the 22nd. Baseball's ranked number 23 in all of Division II out of like 250 schools,
Yeah.
and
And second in the East region,
yeah,
I think.
Major.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Big
Above
step.
Wilmington.
Above Wilmington. I
That's
had a great game. I think against Millersville or somebody. They did very well.
Yeah, they swept one team, I think, and then split the first day. But yeah, so them seeing that they were ranked got me thinking about like where track and field is at, because I feel like, I don't know, were we not doing events in the past? Like, how are there so many records being broke this year?
Well, this year specifically, we just have a lot of amazing recruits. Like we have just some beautiful talent that came in. We have a guy that's running like 46 in the 400, 6, I believe 8.5 in the 60 meter indoor. He ran like a 21.2. Like the dude's amazingly fast.
South African kid.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
South
yeah,
African.
he's
My,
cool,
man,
he's cool.
my guy Ashwin. Yeah, we just have a lot of talent this year. It's gonna be a special season for sure. So I'm gonna say, just stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So about when you broke a school record recently, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So tell us about that. Like what?
So I broke the weight throw record. Previously, we didn't really have a team in the weight throw. It was in, like our specialized events, and like we don't really have an indoor season. But with our new coach and everything, he wanted us to have an indoor season. So I've been practicing the weight throw. I've been falling in love with it. So I practice like almost every day. If you know, my coach could tell you, like I practice every day. She's like, "You're obsessed. You gotta stop." I'm like, "No, I want this record. I want to go hard. I want to." And recently we had the Penn State meet, and I went out there and I was very nervous at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I came into the circle and I was like, I'm about to slip. I'm about to fall. Because last week we went to Ocean Breeze, and first throw I slipped. Like I slipped, bust my butt. I bust my butt and I fell, and then I was very like unconfident in myself. But this week I was like, just clear your head, just hop in the circle and just launch it. So first throw, immediately broke the record. I threw like a 13.36, which is like a meter above my PR. And in between those, so you get 3 throws, your first half of the throw, and then you have, if you do make finals, you have 3 more throws to throw. So that throw secured me a spot in the finals. And then after that, I had 3 more throws. And on my last throw, I broke my record again. I threw a 13.86. So I was pretty happy with that. It was definitely a good way to finish off the indoor season. So we starting off outdoor now, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Appreciate
I
Send it
queued
to
up and I was like, I might as well just say it because that is awesome. It's cool.
No, I did.
What are like records to be broken on the soccer team and other sports?
Ooh.
Like I know baseball has a ton of like
Yeah.
records to set, but like soccer is different. It's like goals and
Goals
assists
and
and
assists, yeah.
passes.
I think no, not passes. No.
No,
Goals
Like
and assists.
appearance, like
Yeah, appearances. I think probably Shaheen probably has the most goals in a season. That's why he got All American that year. I know we have Alejandro's older brother Fernando got Rookie of the Year that year. I'm sure he had some sort of at least rookie, very good performance statistically. I don't know about other. I know Lina on the women's team had like an unbelievable season. Her last year, she had like, I could be wrong, but like 19 goal contributions, which means like both goals and assists, or maybe just 19 assists. I don't know. She had a crazy year. And I know Jenna Fannon, she had a really good year. She got Player of the Year as well. So that year she would score every game, I swear to you. She would just go down the line, run by everybody, cross it, or score it from there. So yeah, there's a lot of we have a lot of talent across the board on different teams.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's great.
Yeah.
Missed you last week.
I'm back, baby. I'm sorry, I was not feeling well. I woke up and like, you know when you feel fever but you feel it just here,
congestion.
So the weight of your body kind of just, so you had to lay down, and I didn't want to get anybody else sick or anything, so I just quarantined myself. I stayed home, and yeah, but I'm back this week.
Welcome back.
Ready to go.
What was it like to see the episode and then you not?
I mean, it was okay. I did miss myself, of course, but, but it was fun. I mean, I thought Zach's episode was really good,
No,
and
for sure.
obviously talking about photography stuff, so I was interested in it anyway, and I was aware that he had photographed LeBron James because it's a big thing, but I had completely forgotten about it, and I was like, oh yeah, he did do that, because I remember seeing the pictures of LeBron doing the thing with the chalk, the thing that he does. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really interesting to listen to, and I've known Zach for a while, like since I think he's been here since I've been here, or maybe he came the year after, something like that. But yeah, he's a great guy, so it was really fun to see him on.
Yeah.
And,
He was in your spot, which
yeah, he was right here. Right here.
I was like wondering what should we do, and even I was like, man, that's Chari's spot. But
No, but it's good to be here because then
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the eyeline stuff is good. But yeah, so talking about like the filmmaking stuff, you're currently running Lightning Studio stuff.
Yeah.
And I would ask you how that happened, but it was like in conversations with us is how it happened.
Yeah. So I mean,
But how did you get into, like, what made you want to get into filmmaking and photography and like your interest? Like, how did that all start?
so
for you?
I would say COVID, like everybody else, everybody just picked up a hobby in COVID. For me, I started off with graphic design. I was doing simple edits on my phone, and I remember just doing it for free at first, and I realized that I could just charge people like $5. It was like $5, maybe $10 if I just knew you had a little more money in your pocket. Yeah, so after a while of graphic design, I started doing my phone, then I moved on to a computer and got in tune to Photoshop, and then later I got introduced to a group of just content creators and people, just videographers. They did a lot of sports photography, sports videography, and things like that. And I just got inspired, and I just really wanted to pick up a camera. So later, I asked my mom. I raised up around like $400, and I asked my mom. I was like, "Can you just pitch in like maybe 200 more to just buy me a camera?" And I just bought a camera and just started shooting since then. So definitely, that's the main like beginning point. Ever since then, I've just been falling in love, keep growing every day, things like that.
So yeah, so how did you find out about us and getting involved? Because I can't remember. I know we met like last year, but
Yeah, we met last year like maybe once or twice. I remember just saying, "What's up?" I remember seeing you at the Wilmington game that one time.
okay,
Yeah, so I just knew there was a little bit of content creation at Goldey, and I remember just seeing the Lightning Studio page online. I remember seeing a couple of your films, definitely just amazing films, by the way. Yeah, so I really don't remember like how I came into the office, but I remember just asking. I was like, "Can I just pull up one day?" And we just talked, and I was like, yeah, I want to be part of something where I just continue filmmaking for the school.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing.
I remember meeting you at new student orientation in the summertime.
Yeah,
And already
definitely.
there, we kind of talked a little bit about it, and you were interested.
Yeah, I saw you with the camera and everything like that. I think you have the EOS R, and I was like, yeah, that's a camera I want. I've been wanting a camera for a while. I just want to upgrade from. I have a Canon M50 right now, but yeah, ever since then, I just knew there were some people that just were in that field and things like that. So I really just wanted a community that was like me and just was intrigued with filmmaking and things like that. So I remember just pulling up to your office, and ever since then, it's been history. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ding. We need
I know, we
need
really
the bell, guys. We need
Send you
something
laughing.
We need a counter. We need a counter in the YouTube video. Just
at the bottom of the screen. How many awesomes?
But yeah, I wonder if when you saw Chari at new student orientation, if it was the time he was running around with the camera that I let him borrow, like it was a football. Like one day, so I'm out there and I see him out there photographing it one day, and I'm like, so I let him borrow the R5, and I see him. He's like, Chari's like everywhere.
Yeah.
So he goes from down here is like the res halls like Jackson, and he runs up the stairs to see me.
Yeah.
And he's gripping the thing like this, and I'm like,
Yo.
that moment I was like, we're getting him another camera and a camera strap. So like I remember when we unboxed the thing, I like get the strap out and I was like, yeah, this is
It was definitely in the strap era, but the thing is, I was unaware of how like expensive these cameras are, and how like precious they are. So I was just gripping them real tight because I knew that you cannot drop this stuff because also I'm in America, so it's especially important that I don't drop anything. Yeah, so now I have the strap on every time.
No, not every time. Actually, there's a photo from you at my wedding where you have the camera out over the boat, and I'm like, I let him use my XT4. Let him use my Fuji XT4.
That's
right?
expensive.
Because Chari captured some beautiful things at the wedding. He wasn't the main photographer, but he captured both some video of the speeches and a lot of photos with my X100 here. Like, and it's tough for me to get this. This wasn't the one you did it with. It was the black one.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that's
and so there's a photo that our wedding photographer took of Chari, and he's sticking the camera out like this over the boat. Like this.
One-handed?
It's going to be on picture. I think right. No, dude, you're so screwed, dude.
One-handed is crazy.
One-handed, dude. Like this, over the boat, over the edge of the boat, bro.
Okay.
That's bold.
We're going through the Danube or the Sava River through Belgrade, and this guy's got the camera, my camera. You should have seen me when we were scrolling through the photos. I was like, I was both proud because I was like, that's something that maybe I would do too.
Trying to get that shot.
I can't really give him crap for it. Not even trying to get the best shot. Like, what difference would it have been to just move a little bit? But
I think I will plead the fifth on this charge.
I got evidence, dude. I got evidence. It's on the screen right now.
It's on the screen right now.
No, I don't recall.
I wonder if he also has like the Shadarakia or the beer too, because. But yeah. So moving on to the next. No, but it was really fun. Thank you again for letting me use stuff. No, the stuff you captured. Look at him making me feel bad. The stuff he captured was really good. I don't know about that specific photo.
Shot. Okay. But I was trying to get like the leading lines. You're teaching me a lot about that. So the boat line has like the little balcony on the boat. So that would lead into the flag. It should be a flag and the people hanging out around it. So I was like, thinking photography stuff.
He just reversed it all on you now.
Actually, I'm like, that's actually a good point. And knowing visualizing what he was doing, I'm like, that's why I think there was a wrist strap possibly too. I don't know.
There was a wrist strap. I had the wrist strap on. Check the footage.
We'll see that.
Let's see the photo.
Yeah, we'll see the evidence. But yeah, so talking about like Lightning Studio and getting involved in stuff like this, you two are kind of like the main people doing it. And so what are some things, like, I know we're just kind of like talking about it on the spot, but we've talked about certain segments we could do with this show, but what are some places that you guys want to take with that? Because like you said, you wanted to find a place with like-minded people to talk about this stuff. That's always been what I would want Lightning Studio to be, but I feel like you guys have the energy. I've kind of failed to bring that to life in a lot of different ways. But yeah, like what would you guys like to see?
I mean, for me, in a sense, just a common theme in just growing in media. So, I mean, media is taken all over the world, and I think it's just getting knowledgeable in that field will just help your resume, help your portfolio, and just help, for me, my interest is of filmmaking. And I just want to be, I don't know, say one of the greats, but I just want to learn every single detail in both photography and videography. Mm-hmm. And with people that surrounded with the same energy, I know you always plead that you're always wanting to learn and you're always trying to grow and things like that. You want to be a director and things like that. And I could see your drive for it. Mm. And I have like a similar drive, just want to be behind the camera and just continue filmmaking, continue making what I have in my head into reality. So that's the number one thing I want to do.
That's so cool. No, it's true because it's so these moments that happen like on campus, but also like in our personal lives, either at home or here, and trying to capture those moments, or at least the essence of them, I think has been for me the driving factor. I wasn't like, the reason why the Polaroids draw me so much is because it's not really like digital photography in the same sense that, like, for example, you do, Seb, which is just more a moment thing, you know what I mean? But because it's quite simple, because I enjoy more the interaction with somebody, like talking to them, saying, hey, would you like to be part of the project? And kind of including people in that thing, because then I, well, like a child make a friend, how you used to do when we were kids, but also like, and then that picture, that thing is something that stays with me always, but also it's now on something, it's something tangible. I can touch it, I can put it up on the wall, and I will always remember it, and that's why it's, for me, it's such a thing. But also for me, also a little bit more, it's in front of the camera, trying to act and stuff like that. Because as a kid, there was this like comedy show on TV that my parents would watch, and so I would remember the guy doing the skit, right? And then I would perform it for my parents, like in front of them, and they would laugh, and I would get some sort of, I did something good or whatever. But so that's why I do this stuff.
Yeah, and you took part in that. It was like a Europe. Explain, because I have no idea what it was. I can't remember, but I know what you did. That you were a child and like you performed in this like.
Oh yeah. So it was a part of a UNESCO program, and UNESCO is like a non-profit foundation for, or maybe it was UNICEF, one of those two. We will check that.
I just remember there were Serbians there.
Yeah, there were Serbians. So what they did was they tried to get countries in the Balkans that have a history of conflict between each other. So Greece, Albania, Northern Macedonia. I think Kosovo as well, Serbia, Croatia, Bulgaria, Romania. Yeah, countries that have tensions, Turkey as well. I think at one point they had Egypt there. Basically what they do is they'll take like a teacher or two, so two adults supervising a group of, I think about 20 children. And you can go there together, and it's actually in this summer camp called Once Upon a Time in Thessaloniki, Greece. So all these countries, they come together there, and the whole week, it's 1 week, you do activities. It's during the summertime. You do different activities. You play different sports. It's like a huge complex, right? You play sports, you do different activities to get to know each other. And I still have actually a T-shirt, a white T-shirt that I had when I was a kid back then, and I got everybody that I got to know to sign it. So it's a whole T-shirt that doesn't fit me anymore, unfortunately, but it's at home. My mom still has it in my closet, of like people from Serbia, people from Albania, Greece, Turkey. And the funniest thing was sitting with the Turkish kids, because Turkey and Greece have a difficult history, let's say, and so does Albania too. But sitting with the Turkish kids and understanding how many words that we say that are the same, how many foods that we have that are the same, how many, like, our parents speak to us in the same way. The culture is virtually the same. So we found that we had more things in common than separated us. And it was so great, because now those conflicts, that history that might have been rooted in conflict now kind of disappeared. Amongst us at least, because we could bond over the things that we shared rather than the things that we didn't. And I wish that back then I had a camera to take pictures of all those moments, because they are in my head. They are like pictures, you know. And at the end of it, so at the end of the 7 days, every country had to perform something, either a dance or a play or some sort of skit that kind of symbolized their culture. So I played like a kid in this little play that we did, where I was the kid of the family. Me and my sister were like playing with the, you know, whatever, and somebody comes in with like a it's like a chifteki. It's called. It's like a weapon, and the father has to like try to, you know, fend off this intruder or something like that. And then everybody danced together to an Indian song. I don't know how they put on this Indian song, but everybody danced together in that, and it was crazy. And I was on top of. We got very close to the Serbians, and or maybe they were Bulgarians. I don't know, but they all spoke the same language. And Celia, you know, Serbia, Croatia, those guys, they spoke the same language, or at least they understood each other. And it was great, because they were really big guys. They played basketball, and and one of them we called the Hulk. And my mom was like this, like on his hip. That's how tall he was, right? And yeah, but I was on. There's a picture of me on one of these guys' shoulders, and he's like holding me like this, and you know, because I was like 8 or 9 years old. But it was a great experience, and doing that thing of sharing our different cultures was one of the best things I've been a part of, you know. And yeah, it's similar to how Goldey is in a way, you know.
Yeah, those signatures on your T-shirt. Yeah. These polaroids are like those.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
You make them sign them too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You do, right? Everybody.
Yeah, they don't like sign their name, but they do like the quote. I mean, some people actually put their name. Recently, one guy put his name, Tiernan. I found it very interesting name, Tiernan.
So at the end of the day, when all of them are done, and it's everything like, and even like when you're
gone from here.
What's going to happen with them?
So the idea is to kind of compile them in like, so back home, my family has obviously, as I'm sure everybody has like some sort of photo book of like memories, you know, when someone is growing up or something. So we have a photo book, and I want to make a similar thing of that. So where we put all the Polaroids in a photo book, a Goldey Polaroid photo book, and then that can then be passed on, or I don't know, maybe we can make a digital version of it too, and physical copy, and then that can be in the library, and future generations can just go and look at them, you know, because they might not be on the walls always.
Almost like a yearbook.
Almost, yeah.
Because it'd be cool to be able to print it, or, you know, definitely have a copy that.
And then make memes of the quotes.
But yeah, so.
Sorry, that was too long. I was talking for too long.
Well, that one story, like. I was just trying to get his acting career, and this guy was like trying to solve the world's problems.
That is how to get an acting career going, solving world problems.
Bringing nations together.
Yes.
But talking about like Lighting Studio, like you two both kind of doing your things. You know, you're shooting video on campus for the track and field team, for the Black Student Union events, and then you're doing like all the photography of student events and just student life on campus and things like that. You know, what do you guys see like ways that, you know, because like you said, you know, video and media, it's like a large part of, you know, the world these days. You know, like definitely. Even I spend way too much time consuming stuff on my phone and things like that. Like what are some ways that we could get more students involved in Lighting Studio, like kind of, you know, because it's not like we have to have the answers here. It's just kind of talking about it. Like, because at the end of the day, you guys are the student leaders when it comes to that. And, you know, and so what do you guys think?
Well, like small things like this is a massive project. I don't think the students appreciate it as much as they should. But the bigger schools, even in the state, don't even have a podcast like this. And I think just advertising in general, I don't know if it's video or just photography, even a flyer, like online though, is a major part that could bring together the students here. And we have so many events like every day that could just, like, they should come to be honest. And I think with video and photography and just like a simple story post or anything like that, would just allow people just to come to these events and then just make new friends and just enjoy what we have here at GBC, because I know being part of BSU, we had the soul food dinner last week, and that was one of the biggest showings I've seen in my 2 years here. So we had a video up, the commercial we did. We had a video up for 2 weeks, and I say that was a big part of why we had a good showing. And so I say with things like that, it will allow people to come to these events, allow them to have fun, and just see what's here at GBC.
And this might not be like good, I don't know, but there's like a way to almost enable people to capture the moments that we're not around for. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like, yes, we can be there to capture moments, but there's moments that we won't be around for that people can capture on their own, and it doesn't have to be like specialized with special cameras. Or there's this thing that I see on Instagram all the time, on Instagram Reels, this guy who just hands out like disposable cameras to people going out to like to a social event or something, and then he gets them back, and then the pictures, they look so cool, but not just cool, but they also look different than maybe what he would have taken if he was there himself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that kind of brings them in to tell that story of the things that happened, how, you know, they had fun, maybe they didn't, hopefully they did, but had a good time together. Maybe we could figure out a way to do that and bring that all that perspective in and show that even better, and then people can kind of take it in and come to events and say like, hey, there's more going on here than we might have perceived originally, you know, just because it's a small school.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize what they have in their pockets. Like a phone nowadays, with the amount of pixels that are in the camera, and like how much they could post online and just like even tag us. Yeah. That could help. Like if they're at the events, or if they're just around just student life in general, like they could just tag if they see something cool or anything, like any creative idea they have, they could just tag and just market it, to be honest.
That's one thing we've wanted to do for a while, is share the perspectives of other people. You know, you both brought that up of like, you know, like Chari said, we can't always be at these places, and as well, we bring to it with our own perspective, you know, our own eye looking through the camera. You know, that's like what got me into it, is I feel like I live my moments through the camera, through the images, you know. And funny enough, I created an Instagram account years ago when I was a student here called, you know, Stone Visuals, and it was all started with the iPhone, just taking photos, working on composition, and really just moments, like, because, you know, you want like clean stuff that looks good, but like I wanted to look back through my life and see like not just people smiling looking at the camera, but I wanted to see the personalities in them. And so but as well, like to the point of like posting, like sharing other people's work, is that was always kind of an original like motivation for Lightning Studio, was, you know, use that as a platform to lift up other students who like take photos or want to share. Like, you know, I know Elizaveta sends you photos of like campus and things like that you post as well.
That I haven't taken because I wasn't on the path when she was walking and take that picture. Yeah. But I wanted to say a couple of days ago, or maybe last week, I was at 1 a.m. I was gonna go from Leach to Able, and as I walk out, I think it was a Saturday night, and I see like a couple of softball girls and Justin Jump, who is on the baseball team, and they were just sitting there having a good time hanging out. It was freezing, but they were there, and they had like an Acme cart. I don't know if it's but yeah, they had an Acme cart, and one of them was in it, and they were like, hurry, take the picture. And I was like, if I hadn't been there, I wouldn't have been able to take the picture. You know what I mean? So, but I don't want to have to be there.
But you're everywhere, so you were there.
But it was lucky. If I'll find that picture, I'll send it to you. We can put it on the thing. But that moment was so cool because they were just having a good time. It wasn't an official event. It was nothing. It was just friends hanging out, and that moment there was really what Goldey and college really is about. Yeah. But I think at bigger schools they have it in a different way, where they'll have students take like a photo or something, and those students will tag the school so that then that can be reposted on the school's page. So GBC students, this is tag us when you do tag Lightning Studio, tag Goldey.
Yeah, tag both, whatever. Yeah. So So now currently you're in charge of those, of like Lighting Studio social medias. We post on them here and there,
Yeah.
but you were kind of leading the way there. What is your, what you bring to it? What is your kind of vision behind it? What is your purpose?
Well, just being a underclassman and just being a part of just the student life. I know you guys are a little bit older. Just have a different perspective, you know.
Yeah.
I could just bring a fresher mind, I would say. I have just ideas of what the students want. I know I talk to a lot of people here at Goldey, so they give me ideas. I was like, Seb, you should add this to the podcast, or like they just tell me a lot of things, and we're like, I'll bring it up. I don't know if it'll happen, but I'll bring it up, you know. Just having that fresher mind, I would say, just allows me to just bring a whole different perspective, you know.
And so with filmmaking and photography in general, earlier you said, you know, you have a drive to really get good at it and be one of the greats. Like, what specifically would you like to get into? You know, where, you don't have to really, you know, have an answer, but yeah.
I mean, in the future, I just want to be stable. You know, number one thing, I want to be stable, but I want to shoot a variety of different things. You know, I've shot a wedding before and I really enjoyed it, but I've shot different kinds of sports before and I really enjoyed it. I just want to have that freelance, that freedom overall, just to be able to, people just to see my work, be like, oh yeah, he's official, and he could do this, but also could do this, but also could do this. I just want to be able to just people see my work, appreciate it, and then they could just come and just I could ask what they want or what they want, and I'll be able to do it.
You're already at that point, so I wanted to know where you really want to go, because I know, you know, there's some branding, some dumb things to do to like kind of feel like you're there. But to be honest, dude, I've been doing this for 8 years or so, and of course I still want that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of started not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know like where you really want to go with it, like the dream, you know, what is like, you know, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
I mean, I've talked about this I've barely talked to us, but I do, I mean, yeah, like with a brand, I would want to be like a CEO in a sense, just to have my own like firm almost, where just have people working under me where that could shoot too, but I mean they could just take it up to me. I could be approval, but I'll still be able to shoot sometimes things like the bigger projects, but overall things like that, just be like a CEO of sorts, you know.
Yeah,
definitely something like that.
Yeah, I love that. So people have talked a bunch of times on, even here, like we've had it been name dropped as Goldey-Beacom as a business school. Mm-hmm. So sometimes like communication and media isn't necessarily a focus. And I think that it's directly tied with it, you know, telling your story, not just like shooting stuff out there. 'Cause I have my opinions about some of the things that the school puts money behind is not necessarily what we should be putting money behind, because how you say things and what's there, the substance, the creative, you know, matters a ton. But I think it's directly in relation and connected to business, you know. And so like you two going to a business school, and then you're now like filmmakers and photographers, you know, like how do you see that like being like a benefit to where you're gonna go?
Well, just learning the business side of things is a big help. I know Goldey just recently added like 3 new majors. I believe it's like cybersecurity, digital marketing, and like gaming or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was really interested in the digital marketing part. I think that's a major. I wanted to talk to my guidance counselor about it and see like what are the benefits towards it. Because again, like sometimes I fall out of love for like photography, videography. I just feel like in a slump in a sorts, and then something just sparks it. I'm like, okay, it's my whole life again, and I just want to go back to it. And for me, like I seen digital marketing, I'm like, that's basically like a broader version of what I do, basically. Like, yeah. I mean, marketing in a sense, you can't have marketing without like what we do in general. Yeah. And I'll say that's major, and I want to continue to do something in that realm. So I think learning the business side, going to a business school, allows you to gather the information behind the scenes of everything, but you could walk into, like, I don't know how to say this, but
Well, you're learning how to do it yourself. Like
Yeah,
literally what
yeah,
you just said
yeah.
earlier about the Black Student Union event. Like you said, a large part of maybe that following, I think number one, it's your guys' passion and energy behind the organization and the events that you're having. But number two as well, putting together that video and putting it out there.
Yeah.
That's always been like such a strength. That's always been like, that's how we used to get people at things. The bash, when we did the bash, some people don't like to hear about the bash. The bash was legendary, dude. Your guys' event reminded me of the success of the bash. Maybe you guys need to have a new bash. But we did a whole like promo behind it, and that's business, is getting your message out there and how you do it, you know?
Yeah, with like filmmaking, it's trial and error. So like, I believe like you could keep the filmmaking and the freelance and the videography on the side and learn the business part, but you could keep that and keep learning the skills in that yourself. You really don't need to schooling for that. So, I mean, just continue with that, to be honest.
Yeah. It is interesting because obviously back in the day it was radio and TV, and now it's the phone, essentially the video that people will see. You know what I mean? And storyteller is the marketing, essentially. You know, if you can tell the story, if we can tell a good story, if we can tell a good story of the school, if anybody can, I mean, literally Instagram is telling the story of, let's say, your life, you know, catering it how you want it to be, with video, with photo, and we have a good opportunity here to be able to do that. And business, it might for namesake could be seen as separate, but it is very much together, especially nowadays. Like, I was talking to Ty about this, how Red Bull's Instagram. Red Bull is a drink, right? It's an energy drink. But Red Bull's Instagram, only, like, if you just go at the top, you will see clips of a guy like skydiving next to the pyramids in Egypt wearing a Red Bull helmet. Where is the drink in that? You know what I mean? It's their branding. It's like, oh, we are an extreme sports brand in that sense. You know what I mean? They are far so removed from the actual drink, but it is what it tracks and what is popular. You know, so, and that's business.
Well, it stands for something. So like the whole Red Bull gives you wings. It makes you do these things. That's their creative. Their marketing is like backing that up. So what, and this has been kind of our charge that we've been doing for a couple of years, and now you're involved in it too. And we hope to, and of course all the students that have been, you know, acting in our things. And as we've like fumbled through and figured it out, but like, what are some things like that you can do with Goldey? Like we did the Goldey-Beacom commercial, like Super Bowl thing.
That was amazing.
And so like, what more things, you know, like we don't have to talk about it or come up with it right now, but like that's kind of where like I'd like to go with some of the things is like, how do we, in a fun way, put Goldey on the map, you know, like with those things. And
I think collectively that question right there, like what perspective we could make it with, like an Instagram or like a TikTok, we could show people how like family oriented it is, or just how, like, if you come to the school, there's very little things that you could do, but through those things inside of the school, if you live on campus and things like that, if you find friends on campus, there's a lot you could do. You become creative. Like, you become creative in the gym, become creative in your res life. You just out of nowhere have the energy just to, oh, let's go to Waffle House at 3 a.m. All right, like, oh, let's take a shopping cart, you know.
You know, at the Acme in Wilmington near me, they have like these locks on them. When they walk through, when you go through the doors with them, it locks up. Like, they need to fix that for some reason. I don't know why it's doing it as we're trying to get our groceries out, but they had to come over and scan it and get it unlocked. But because
I've seen like 4 or 5,
like a lot. You see it about the campus.
Let's throw some little engines on those things and race them around. You know, I already know the perfect little track at Goldey. The Goldey-Beacom Grand Prix.
It's in the works, guys.
I heard that used to be a tradition. There's like a race or something. Was it? I don't know. I remember just hearing it. Like, there was like a race. It was you used to take a shopping cart and then like race it down a hill or something like that. I don't know. I've heard that before. It was random. But you could
That's
really
some marketing right there.
for sure.
Lightning, fast as lightning. Boom, it's done. All right. I was
Already.
gonna say I have other things to focus on.
It's in the
but
works.
this is
It's
now
in the works.
Now it's marketing, and that's what we're doing.
But you could really show people a perspective of how much like the school is fun with the family we have over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, what really got me into all of this was, I guess, like, I have this big feeling with nostalgia, you know, like, I always love to look back on these time periods, and sometimes I would love to just, like, wake up or experience one more day there, you know, and so I knew that at the time I was filming the 2017 GBC men's soccer team, they had come off like a pretty solid year, but they weren't like expected to win the championship. But I was like they welcomed me into that family, and I was like experiencing it with them, and I was like, I want to look back on this time because there's something special here. I don't know exactly like what it is so I was like trying to learn how to be a documentary filmmaker at the time, so I was just shooting this stuff. And I was also like, if that could be a gift to them as well, so that, because no one else was doing it, that they could look back and they could just click play on this and it would take them back to what it was like, not just to win the games, but the good and the bad, like all of it. You know, and I know I did it. Like, I get messages from the guys, you know, all the time about like, you know, they rewatched it. It's like, it's kind of like reliving those things. And so, and then, because then that's the documentary side of things. And then like that motivation for me has turned into the life experiences. Because as a creator, like, you know, when I was in my early 20s, I so badly wanted to be really, really good at this stuff. But one of the things that's really gravitated me towards like helping Chari along the road is Chari's interests don't always fall on the technical side. Mine were obsessive. I want the image to be the cleanest. Yeah. I want it to be the professional, the sound not to mess up. It was just really obsessive. But what I learned is you have to have something to say. You can learn the technical stuff when it comes to this very easily on YouTube. You know, you can learn anything so quickly. And especially some motivation of why I'm still here with Lighting Studio is hopefully you guys can learn it a lot quicker than I did. And I can show you the way. But what you can't really teach and what you have to learn through life experience is what you're saying through it, you know? And so like in my life, like, I want to be a film director, writer, director. And, I've done 20 short films, maybe 19, I might be rounding it up. And my first 19, all of them, you know, I feel like suck. I feel like they're just now starting to get like the thing that you're going to say in them, you know, like what are you going to say? And, so like, I guess I'm saying all this to say that like, you know, if you're trying to get interested into this stuff, or, you know, you start by documenting, like trying to figure it out on your own. And then as time goes on, like I've learned how to try to recreate those narratively. So that means like, instead of capturing the party as it happens, you're restaging it, but you can only restage it if you've lived it. You know, you can only write what you've lived, you know, and so like, that's like such a great period that you guys are in, because you're living it right now. You're getting to experience those things. And then, you know, you be able to communicate those things to other people.
Yeah, we, I think last year, I was just like filming, I think you were there too, just filming people on campus, and everybody was hanging out around the quad because it was super sunny and the weather was nice, it felt good. And CJ had like a lollipop he was eating. And so when I sent those clips to you to edit, because I could edit it, that clip made the cut, right? And so CJ commented, oh, Lollipop made the cut. And then Daniel commented, seeing CJ, he was like, love seeing you this happy. And like that moment, I was like, all right, job done. You know, that's the reason why, I guess.
Yeah. No, back to the community part, exactly what you're saying. What I've seen so well from Chari's work is when we post those photos, like we just did the post yesterday, it was like the 21st or whatever. amount of students that are sharing it because they're in it, you know, like that's such a, it's like you guys are the storytellers of Goldey-Beacom. You guys are the ones capturing those moments. It's such a, like a beautiful thing to be able to be those people for them. And, you know, I guess I'm just saying, like, let's double down on it and keep doing it.
Having that interaction and engagement, like when you shoot, like when I shot BSU, those videos, I remember Black Love and Literacy Night had a great showing out, and those people that were in it, just seeing them repost it and then seeing them, I remember showing one of my friends the videos, and she was just like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Like, because she had like 3 powerful moments where she sang, she did a open mic spoken word performance.
Gozy?
Yeah, and awesome. And she enjoyed the video, and then things like that, like showing people what you created, like what you executed, is like a big moment, and like I think it's very like serotonin type of feel. Like it just makes you feel good, and
because they are also like the protagonists of it. You know what I mean? It's like almost like making a movie, and they are the main characters in it, and they feel seen, but also they feel special as well. You know what I mean? So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What is the Goldey-Beacom movie, you think?
We gotta make a Goldey-Beacom movie, like The Simpsons.
Gotta
like a bubble around Goldie, and everybody's hanging out in here. But yeah, we got a day in Goldey-Beacom. That's the movie.
Where's the drama?
The drama is we come to the cafeteria and there is no Taco Tuesday. Oh, actually, okay, sorry. This might be, but I have to say this. Okay, so I was talking to my girlfriend, Elisaveta, love you, darling. And she was saying how she feels like tired and like a little bit burnt out, right? By, you know, classes and athletics and stuff like that. And me, and, you know. And I thought, what a great moment we have to do this thing, right? Go with me on this. We go to the president, or we go to somebody, you know, to the president, she's in charge, and ask her, hey, what if we skip class? All the students on all the different, like, you know, classes, we just skip class. Even the commuters, but they're invited to campus. We skip class. The professors know, but they don't say that they know. You know what I mean? So it still feels like we're being rebellious and going against the, you know. And we have a huge event, like a huge cookout, donuts, ice cream, barbecue, whatever you want. Just come join music, whatever it may be, games. And it just feels like it's, you know, under the, you know what I mean, like sneaking out, and the parents don't know.
That rush,
that little, you know what I mean?
Skip in class and you're like, oh,
yes.
am I going to get caught?
Yeah, exactly. And we do that, but it's also sanctioned by the school. So we don't actually get in trouble. Or you know what? Let's just do it without. And then, let's not. But that, and we can be there, take pictures, videos, everything. And that, I think, will give people a little, you know, jolt of excitement, and then we can come back to the class the next day, and the professors won't give us, you know, crap about not going to class.
You would love to know that American high schools do this.
It happens all the time. School skip day.
Skip day. Yeah,
we should have it.
So then, how do you get this from idea to? Because that was beautiful.
Yeah,
you sold me on it.
Right?
You know.
Yes.
But but then how do we get from idea to, you know, who's going to help Chari skip?
To be honest, it's about to be turned to an event instead of like a school skip day.
Yeah. I will go to the president myself and tell her, hey, you know, and do what I just did. Tell her the idea, you know, and maybe bring my girlfriend with me, because then
it's a little sad.
Yeah. I can be like, Exhibit A, you know, this student is feeling down a little bit, you know? And maybe it can really happen, because if Dr. Keith says yes, then it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I will but I will help it as much as I can to happen. And it can be so fun, man. It can be so fun. We can all just get away a little bit from the mundane of it, and enjoy and just relax, have a good time, and then be re-energized, essentially, to go back into the classroom and be good student. You know what I mean?
What would it be called?
It would be called cutting the bacon. I just came up with that. I'm sorry. But yeah, cutting the bacon. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
And we make a commercial out of it. They're like, this is
No, I was like, because remember the other day you were talking about me about the polaroid idea of waking up and just going to class and then we could do that and then
Yes.
add the skipping part of it.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to go to class now. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Might
Yes.
have to clear this with Joel too.
Yes,
gonna-
yes,
they're gonna
because
watch
he's
this.
the provost. Yes, we will get clearance. I mean, one day. It's one day.
It's
One
one
I
day.
mean,
day.
I think
Yeah.
you can do it. It already seems like it's.
Yeah.
Lighting in the studio, changing the
Come
culture.
with me, Seb. Come with me. We will do it.
For sure.
We will do
But
it.
yeah,
Sure.
what are we at?
We're at 50.
50? All right.
Oh,
Well, I think this has been solid. Lightning
Solid,
Studio
yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seb, for stopping by with us. Is
Anytime.
there any kind of last words? I know Chari's going to close this out in a minute with Polaroid of the day, but is there anything that we want to kind of share?
I want to say that that's awesome.
You got 30 on the counter right now.
Hey, as many times as I say that's awesome, equally, Chari has been like, but back home in Greece.
No. Shut up, my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that was a good impression.
But yeah, Seb, any last
Yeah, I
words?
just appreciate y'all having me, of course. Just
been
thankful.
great, man.
Thankful for sure.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. Thank you for coming.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna grab this off the wall. We got my boy Tiernan right here, who wears a top hat.
Oh,
and
no.
He has a phenomenal mustache and beard, and he wrote, "Salutations, party people." And I have not heard the word salutations in a long, long time. But salutations comes from the French, which is salut, which is their hello, and salutations is the whole thing. And the camera, we will take some pictures. And then we have the infancy
I can't
of
believe
ChatGBC. Well,
Whoa.
of Jeff putting the first paint on the wall. Catch this one, camera. We need this one.
That's a
This was just for what is it when they just like take a picture of the guy doing it? I didn't actually, that was all.
Right, it was staged. It was staged.
No, I want to give a big
All
shout out.
the filmmaking is staged.
Senny's helping us monitor audio and the cameras and things, and she actually led the way with everything that looks really nice here.
Yes, big,
And,
big shout out.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. And I'm like spatially challenged, so I was just like, I want it to look good, but I don't know how to do it. And so I just did the broad stuff. But, all right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks you.
Thanks you.